Internet fame. It's a hell of a drug. I like to pride myself on being somewhat artistically sound. Not in a pretentious way, but in a I'd like to think I do YouTube for the right reasons kind of way. I put effort into my videos, I choose topics I'm genuinely passionate about. This is something I get a lot out of besides just social validation. And only sometimes do I tailor my content to suit the ever-changing and always ravenous YouTube algorithm. Look, it's rough out here, I have to make some concessions. But what if I went in the complete opposite direction? What if I took perhaps the easiest route to internet fame that you can think of? How reliable would that be, especially if I had absolutely no outside influence, like my own YouTube base? These are all questions that have sat in the back of my head for a long time, especially on the days where the whole self-righteous artistic integrity thing bit me in the rear. But I never really had the inclination to act on it until recently when I saw something that changed everything. To begin with, I often frequent Discord servers. Now with that career-ruining admission out of the way, let me tell you about this particular Discord event. I was in the server of one Nick is Not Green, a fellow YouTuber and someone who I can play several games of Degrees of Separation and get to, because YouTube is just like an interconnected web of everyone knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. That was a sentence. Anyways, while I was frequenting the server, I saw a post by one Discord user, Apollo, and it was earth-shattering.
In order to try and build the Venture Bros pipeline, I made one of those mobile game accounts, and this one video got more likes in the 16 hours it's been up than I have in the 4 years I've posted on TikTok. I'm not complaining, it's just really funny.
But it was more than just really funny. I had seen the Subway Surfers Family Guy clips before, and chances are you have too. Incredibly overstimulating videos of Subway Surfer gameplay with the antics of Peter Griffin and his Family Guy shenanigans up in the top. They had a habit of dominating my TikTok For You page, despite my lack of interest in Family Guy or Subway Surfers. Honestly, it was one of the reasons I decided to stop regularly using TikTok, because I was so tired of seeing videos being fed to me like that. I figured that they must have been popular, but I always thought that it was just like a certain circle of accounts that had actually gotten popular off of doing this, like 1 or 2 or 5 or whatever, and that it was something inherently about Family Guy specifically that created the appeal for these videos. But here was irrefutable proof of the fact that this wasn't the case. Something about this style of content was just irresistible to people, and clearly it could be tapped into very easily. And so all of my fantasies of easy, effortless content came rushing back to me, and I devised a most evil plan. I was going to see how easy it was to farm clout. Now before we begin, some caveats. There are a lot of ways I could go about doing this. The first way is the most simple and the easiest. I just find other TikToks that people have already made and just repurpose them for my own account. Now I could do that, and I probably could get some success doing that, since those videos are proven to have been successful before, but I said I wanted to make this easy and simple. I'm not a monster. So I will be ethically sourcing my content. This means that 1, I will be recording all of my own Subway Surfer gameplay. I'm not going to be taking anyone else's Let's Plays off of YouTube or anything. I'm going to just play the game myself, record it, and just put it into the footage. Any effort that I can take on my own without creating a whole series of television or developing a small indie game, I will be taking myself. 2, I won't be using any clips from Family Guy. As proven by the example that kicked off this whole experiment to begin with, any kind of adult animated show that is sufficiently entertaining will work for this format. It doesn't have to just be Family Guy, so it's a bad decision for me to stick with it. Not only because I don't watch the show regularly and thus I don't know most of the funny bits, but also because the parts of the show I have seen I don't particularly like. Instead, I will be sourcing all of my clips from an animated show I do quite like, that being Netflix's Inside Job, which as of recording this was canceled just a couple weeks ago far, far too soon. Inside Job is a high-quality show that, while not having the notoriety of Family Guy, I don't know why I said it like that, is better, and more importantly is sufficiently entertaining for this format. In this sense, I'll also be taking a leaf out of Discord user Apollo's book and using this whole experiment to promote the Inside Job agenda, as it were. Please, Adult Swim, if you are watching this, please pick it up for another season. I know you have the power. You can do it. You've done it before to other canceled Netflix shows. Please, I beg of you. And 3. Despite the stated intention of this whole experiment being to get more clout, as it were, I don't actually want to connect this to me just yet. I want to conduct this little experiment away from my own established online presence so that not only there isn't any kind of interference, but also because I already have something of a following that might muddy the waters when it comes to this data. Luckily, I have just the way to do this. Back when I was still regularly using TikTok, one day I found out that my account had been banned. It was only for a couple of days, but in the interim while I waited for my account to be brought back, I decided to make a burner account. In the scenario that happened again, and this time more permanently. As it turns out, I ended up leaving TikTok of my own accord and only really returned to post clips from my own YouTube videos, so I never ended up having to use that burner account. But it still exists, and thus it is ripe for the brutal mutilation I'm about to inflict upon it. But with these caveats in mind, I also need to lay out some of my goals. If I wanted to, I could keep this going on forever and theoretically become like the most followed TikTok account on the app after whoever's it on it right now? Who is it? Oh, it's Kabe Lame, the guy who looked at people who did life hacks and just like pointed out how silly they were. That guy's the most followed on TikTok, so you know, peak of content right there. But all this to say is that I could just have this go on like indefinitely, but I don't want to do that. Not only because that's way too vague a goal to measure any success against, but also because I don't want to do this forever. As I'm writing and recording this, it is towards the end of January. That means if I go for 4 weeks, I can cover the entirety of February, which seems like a pretty good timeline to conduct this experiment within. My current plan is at the very least to post one of these videos a day on this account for the entirety of February. But every week I will be doing a 1-week check-in. If something is up that week or if my strategy isn't working, then I will be doing something to help fix the strategy in some way. Perhaps I'll change out the rate I post or the gameplay or, God forbid, the show itself. We'll see what happens. Considering that right about now I have about 5K followers on the TikTok page that I used for 2 years, I will consider this strategy a win if within this time period I'm able to double that and get 10K followers. Also, in case it wasn't incredibly obvious that I was ripping this format off from Danny Gonzalez.
Hey guys, editing TSD here. I forgot to mention the fourth goal, which was that I wanted to reach 100K views. Just adding it in now so that it doesn't come out of nowhere later.
But these are my criteria that I have set in place, and now it's time to get to work.
I quickly scurried off to my work, like the fastest of Santa's elves. The first thing I did was prepare my burner account for its new life as a vessel for my inane wants. As a part of its transition, I made sure the only account that it was following was Danny Gonzalez, because I think I'm incredibly clever. Now what I needed to do was acquire the gameplay.
Alright, so the date is Friday, January 27th, so I still have a couple of days before February starts and I can start putting out the videos. Right now I have pulled up Subway Surfers on the App Store and I have just downloaded it just a couple of seconds ago. I have never actually played this game before, even though it's like some kind of nostalgia staple or something. I figured I might as well record my first attempt at this and just see how it goes, because this is going to be the game I'm going to be playing a lot for the next month or so. Alright, so please enter your age. I'm not sure why you need this, but okay. It needs to track my activity across other companies' apps and websites. No? I don't want to play Subway Surfers so I can be part of some kind of like psyop to get information. That's why I post on TikTok. That's where the information gets stolen. Let's just see how this goes. Oh boy, it's the fuzz. Okay, pretty simple controls thus far. It just seems like Temple Run at this point, I've played Temple Run before. Comment down below, were you a Subway Surfers kid or were you a Temple Run kid? This is important data that needs to be collected. What's this? Oh shoot. Got a jetpack, that's fun, right? Oh. Shoot, I died. That was a pretty solid first run, I think. I mean, at least I died on the run, I didn't rot in jail for the rest of my young adult life for graffiti. I think I've got it. I think I understand things. I've got rewards, which I don't care about because I'm just in this for the footage of the game. I assume I will get better over the next couple of weeks as I play this over and over. So with that out of the way, back to you, future TSD.
After completely and totally getting my butt kicked by a simple children's mobile game, I went to work getting more footage.
This is a children's game. Why is it so hard?
After I had further humiliated myself through my lack of basic gaming skills, I got my hands on some clips from the show and went to work creating my first wave of content arsenal. This was the result.
Ever wondered who watches you through your laptop camera? Or why there's sometimes product placement in your dreams?
Since the dawn of time, the world has been ruled by a cabal of ancient elites.
But puppeteering the world isn't as easy as it used to be. That's why we formed this company, to enact our overlord's mysterious whims for a better tomorrow. We are Cognito Inc., and we've got you covered. Up!
Any questions? Besides moral ones?
You know, truly the peak of content. Alright, so I just spent like the last half hour or so, like a little bit more than a half hour, recording the gameplay footage and then editing the clips together for the first batch. I feel pretty good about this. I feel like I'm in a good place. I'm surprised by how hard the game is. Like I just will die like 10 seconds, like literally 10 seconds after I start. But I've got a whole month to get better. This is just like day 1 or 2 of playing it. You know, by the end of the month, maybe I'll be a master. So February 1st is on a Wednesday, and so that means I've got a couple of days to like caption all these videos and then just prep them. And so yeah, pretty much everything is in place to start. Once February 1st rolls around, we'll get to it. Now everything was in place. I was ready to begin the experiment. On the first day, I created light in the darkness. Wait, no, that's the wrong script, sorry. On the first day of the experiment, I awoke with high hopes and high spirits, even if it didn't necessarily show on my face. Alright, so it's the first day of the experiment. It's February 1st. I just woke up just a couple of minutes ago, so it's 8:39 in the morning right now. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is that right now I have 10 TikTok posts ready to go right now. So I'm going to post 5 of them just to kind of give like a jump start, and then I will check in later in the day to see where we are with that. Okay, so now I'm in the inside job account. I'm gonna post the first couple of drafts. All right, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, and that's 5. First 5 videos are up. I haven't gotten any views or likes yet since it's been literally like 3 seconds. I will check in later today just to see where they are, and then tomorrow I'll post more videos. I should really get going now because I actually do have a life outside of YouTube, so I have to go take a shower and go to class and stuff, so I will see you later tonight. And so I went off to do my daily tasks, far more important than any YouTube experiment. And since the notifications for TikTok were shut off on my phone, I was completely and blissfully unaware of anything transpiring on the app in my absence. I waited for about 6 hours, and then I checked in for the first time, not knowing what to expect. Alright, so it is now later in the day. It's about 2:15-ish. I'm recording this stuff right now because I have work later, and you know, I'm gonna be tired after work, so I just want to see where stuff has gone in the last, 6 hours or so. I'm not expecting a whole lot. It's only the first day. You know, if one of the videos gets 10 likes, then you know, that's good, but we'll see. All right, so pretty decent numbers so far. Already we've got 10 new followers. That's pretty crazy for the first day. We got a bunch of comments and likes and stuff and all that. 3,000 views. That's the most viewed one. Oh, unfortunately, one of them did get the sound removed. It was the one where the guy was talking about lizard people and stuff, so I guess that kind of makes sense. Probably was flagged. I'll try to appeal to it, see if that helps. We're off to a decent start already. 10 new followers, 1 video that's already semi-viral, and so far, only 1 community guidelines violation. I will do another check-in later tonight just to see if anything else has changed, but for 6 hours, already getting 10 new followers and getting at least 4,000 views, that's pretty great. That's more than videos I got on my main account when I had 5K followers are, so yeah, we'll come back to this. I left yet again, and what I came back to, I don't know if anything could have prepared me for.
Alright, I'm back from my shift now. Left it alone for a couple of hours, and I just want to see where we are in terms of the growth. Let's light this candle and open it up, shall we? Alright, pretty solid. That video that was out there before is almost at 10K now, and we got 9 more followers. It seems like we're at a good place. The growth seems to have been consistent. It wasn't just like a first hour or something kind of a thing. We're off to a really good start. I was honestly, when I started this, I was really worried that it would just bomb on the first day. But yeah, we are good right now. I guess there's not much to say. It's just that we're off to a good start, and I can't wait for next week. I will let you know how next week is going.
Well, maybe I could have been prepared for it, and maybe I was, and maybe it wasn't all that surprising. But it's progress, and it was better than I was expecting on the first day. I went to bed that night in high spirits, looking forward to the week to come. The first week of the experiment started off pretty well. The first day was a solid start, and after a bit of adjustment to my daily release schedule, I was consistently getting good views in all of the TikToks that I was posting. But then, calamity struck. Alright, so it's day 5 of the experiment, and I think we may have run into a bit of a problem. So for the last couple of days, I just have been posting a bunch of videos on this account. The first 2 days, I posted 5 videos all at the same time, which I found brought some kind of varied results. The most popular video was still that one that I posted on the first day, which now has about 10,000 views. But also through varied results, I found that if 5 videos are all posted at the same time, some would do really well and some would do terribly. Like on the second day, I posted a video that got 1,300 views, and I also posted a video that got 75 views. So I figured it would be better to kind of space them out over the day. And so that's what I did for the next couple of days after that. And you can see that that has been pretty effective. Videos consistently would get about 1,000 views or a little bit over that. And we were growing at a pretty good rate. Until yesterday, when I realized that the last 2 videos that I posted yesterday both have abysmal views. One has 13 and the other has 11. These are videos that I posted 16 hours ago as of recording this. So that's pretty bad. And I decided to test that to see if that was just a one-day glitch type thing by posting a video this morning. And I found that a video that I posted this morning 4 hours ago has 1 view. 1 view. That's bad. That's really bad. It was all like something out of a nightmare. My worst fear had been realized. I had been shadow banned. And so at first, when I thought it was just a 1 video type thing, I looked at what the first video was. And at first I thought that 1 video in particular had been suppressed because of this joke in it.
And I am not going back to my last job doing PR for the Kims, Kardashian and Jong-un. One of them has killed hundreds, and it's not the one you think.
So under that hypothesis, then that meant that either Kim Jong-un or Kim Kardashian had paid TikTok off to keep jokes about them killing people off, which honestly, it's a lot funnier if it is Kim Kardashian. I just imagine Kim Kardashian sitting in a room looking at all videos about her, and the one that has the joke about her killing hundreds of people is
suppress that one, they can't know.
But since this has continued to happen for multiple videos, I figured there must be something else going on. It wasn't just the newer videos either. All of the views of my older videos had also slowed to a crawl. I couldn't make any sense of it. Who would do such a terrible thing to little old me? Was it Kim Kardashian trying to suppress the truth? Was it people losing interest in the clips in a sudden decline? Or was I simply cursed, doomed to befall the same fate as the show I was using this experiment as an opportunity to shill? Then finally, I had the most brilliant idea of my career. I would actually do the barest amount of research and use Google to try to figure out my problem. Okay, so according to this article, it's one of 3 things. One is that I posted inappropriate content, which stuff that has adult nudity or violent and graphic content. I don't think that's the case because it's animated for one thing, but also stuff way worse than that gets shown on TikTok all the time and is fine, so I don't know why it would be different for me. It also could be that the content was just boring, which first of all, hurtful, but second of all, I'm not entirely convinced because we were getting consistent views before this happened. So it must be the third option, which is
Uploading too many videos at the same time. I've thought that posting as many videos as possible during one day would grow the account more, but apparently according to this article, that's actually a myth. You have to reserve like a particular amount of time between these videos because otherwise the TikTok just like starts suppressing it. So what I'm going to try to do to see if I can fix this is I'm going to slow down what I post. Instead of what I originally have been posting 5 a day, instead I'm going to try and post 2 a day, and we'll see how that goes. According to other sources I looked at, it takes about a week for a shadow ban to run out, and I really hope that it does within a week, because if this is permanent, then that means that I've screwed this experiment up already within 5 days of starting out of the 28 it was supposed to run.
That's what the kids call epic fail.
So yeah, I'll just like check in with you later to see what is going on.
Despite my new plan, all of this was a rather concerning development. To be 100% honest, this first setback had me worried that the experiment might already be over. There was no way I was going to get 10,000 followers if I wasn't able to even get 10 views on a single video, but there was nothing much I could do at this point. I just had to continue posting and wait it out. Or did I? Alright, so it is day 6, and it's possible I may just have to wait this out, but I found another source, Filmora Wondershare, you know, the editing company, and they say that one way to fix a shadow ban is to turn your TikTok account into a TikTok Pro account, which is free. It's like an Instagram Pro account. It just means that you like gain access to analytics and stuff, and I don't know why I didn't think of this before, even before the shadow ban, because if I'm trying to get data on this experiment, it makes sense to have analytics, right? So far I just posted like one video today because, you know, kind of like waiting it out, but I figured I might as well just switch the account over to a Pro account and we'll see if that helps. Alright, so I'm in the inside job account, and that video I posted like just a couple minutes ago had 0 views, and the one I posted yesterday has 7. Oh, we're in a great spot. I go to settings, switch to a business account. I think that's this. I think that's what this is. All right, I think that's it. Hopefully that'll help. I don't know. I'll check in later tonight and see if it does. Here's hoping. After making this new decision, I was embroiled in internal conflict. It was possible that I had just found my way out of my problem, but at what cost? I had turned my experiment into a business account, i.e., I was selling out. Sure, I would likely make no money on this whatsoever, and I hadn't even enabled monetization features, but the principle of the thing still mattered. Was I really going to compromise my own artistic integrity just to gain views? Then I remembered that this was an account that posted clips from a TV show on top of Subway Surfers gameplay with the express purpose of gaining as much views as possible. So my conscience was gone long ago. After I finished pondering, I came back hours later to check in on the videos. What I saw was not encouraging. 1 view. Guess I'm gonna have to wait this out. God, this has gone so wrong so quickly. Things were looking pretty bleak. I had no solutions of my own. The article I consulted had fostered no real solid advice that worked, and that was my only source of real solid insider information. Or was it? I was suddenly reminded of the fact that I was a YouTuber, and thus I had connections to other content creators. In this situation, the person in particular who was the most helpful choice was none other than Athena P., a friend of mine, but more importantly, someone who had found success on both YouTube and TikTok, with her platform in the latter having over 100,000 followers. If anyone I knew had the wisdom to help me out, it was her. So, I called her up and explained my situation to her, and what she had to say was enlightening. How long do shadow bans typically last?
So here's what I had to do to get away from that. And this wasn't a calculated thing, because genuinely, I don't know. There's no one that knows. I don't even think the people at TikTok know, because it's all run by a robot. But I think that the best thing is, if you're generating like a lot of views at first, is to like step away for a week or two, and then as soon as you get one video that blows up again, then it's like good for a little bit until you make the next mistake.
That's kind of the most consistent thing I've been seeing, is that I should just like take a break for a week. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, it seems so counterintuitive to stop posting. I really didn't want to. I was like, I was doing so well for such a long time, and I posted this often. Why would I take a break?
Yeah.
But it offers you new perspective, makes you stop thinking about TikTok for a while, which honestly could be the best thing you could do. Because I'm telling you, the lowest effort shit.
Funny story about that. In this hypothetical scenario, the hypothetical content is literally the lowest content imaginable, and that's the whole point.
Perfect. So you're already on the right track. Oh, I'm so excited to see more about this hypothetical. Do you have an idea of what the post was that TikTok was unhappy with?
I might. So this is a slight spoiler for you. It's a clip from a show, and there was a joke in it about, like, Kim Jong-un.
No, that's totally what it is. Anything about politics, whether it's like, again, it could be a throwaway joke like that.
Because that was the first video that got hit with the whole no views anymore, and then after that...
That's 1,000% what it is. Do you still have that video up?
Yeah, should I delete it?
I don't know if it would help, but I personally am interested in seeing if you deleted it, if it would get better from there. Because with actual bans, they encourage you to delete the offending post.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it works the same with shadow bans, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Well then, I will try and do that.
Yep.
After processing everything Athena had told me, it seemed I had a new light at the end of the tunnel. I had two potential solutions to my predicament. One would allow me to gain followers and views again on this account, and the other was the nuclear option. I resolved to try Athena's new solution and delete the potentially offending TikTok. Then, I would continue to post for the next few days and see if there was any change. If there wasn't, I couldn't afford to lose much more time, so I was hoping I wouldn't have to employ the nuclear option. Before I knew it, week 1 was over. Alright, so it is day 8 of 28. This is the first end of week check-in. You've seen the video up to this point. We're doing so good for the first week. This is the first week. I haven't checked any of the analytics or anything since last night. So who knows, maybe the problem fixed itself overnight. Yeah, it's not been fixed yet. The video I posted yesterday has 5 views. I've heard that you're supposed to wait it out a week just to see if the shadow ban gets fixed, or some sources even say 2 weeks, which I just don't have the time to spare for 2 weeks of waiting. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to post 1 video a day until this Saturday, because this Saturday it will have been 1 week since the shadow ban started, and if nothing changes by Saturday, I'll just make a new account and we'll start over this experiment. This is a great way to end week 1, let me tell you. Alright, on to week 2. Alright, so we're in week 2 officially now. It's the Saturday I said I would check the account to see where it is, and so now I'm going to be doing that. I have been posting 1 video every day since I last recorded, and if nothing has changed at this point, I'm just gonna make a new account. So cross your fingers. Yeah, not much has changed. Still getting pretty bad views, and there's no real sense of improvement. So yeah, that's the end of that account, I think. So today I'm going to make a new account, and I'm going to just start posting again tomorrow on that new account. And we'll call this Take 2. And so, that was it for the first account. I still had videos left over from that first batch that I would post over the next few days out of respect for the account, but it was no longer my primary focus. I had to make a new account, and thus, it was the beginning of a new era. And as is the case with any new era, some laws of the regime had to change. Taking into account what I had learned from my last mistake, one thing stood out to me. I had to be careful to stay away from content the algorithm was sensitive to, like politics and conspiracy theories. Unfortunately, this meant I had to scrap Inside Job. It hurt me terribly to do so, but the show's premise was far too risky, considering how much runtime was devoted to making jokes about the same conspiracy theories the algorithm didn't like. And I couldn't risk Kim Kardashian suppressing any more jokes about her. So, Inside Job was out, just like the show itself. Instead, I opted out for a choice that, in hindsight, seemed like a much better fit. DC's Harley Quinn. This was another high-quality adult animated show that, while not without issues, not only didn't have the risky premise that Inside Job did, but it also had something that would be algorithmic gold, a connection to superheroes. I don't know how this didn't occur to me earlier, but it was so obvious. It was a rule I had learned long ago from YouTube, but somehow didn't think of here. The algorithm loves superhero content. This was sure to be a huge boost to the chances of success for the experiment, and fell within the originally stated caveat of no Family Guy. I started setting up the account. I also followed Ted Nivison instead of Danny Gonzalez, because I realized that while Danny Gonzalez had pioneered this type of video, Ted had actually been the one who was successful in his goal of manipulating TikTok fame, while Danny had not. So I figured this might work as something of a good luck charm. So the new account is prepped for the most part. Most of the actual part of it is set up. I've got a couple of videos in the drafts that I'm ready to put in. I'm going to start tomorrow again, day 12. I really hope that this version works, because if not, I might just give up on this whole thing, honestly, just because like the first one was disheartening enough already, and if something on the same level as what happened to the first account happens to this one, just done. I'll probably still release this video, but like it'll have a really bad conclusion. But enough pessimism and negative thinking. Let's just do this thing, alright? See you tomorrow. So it's the next morning, it's the 12th day of the experiment, so I'm in a tiny bit of a rush. So I already posted the first video that I made last night, but I only have like one other video prepped. So I've decided I'm gonna be posting 3 videos a day on the Harley Quinn account, one after like every meal time, I guess. But I guess today I kind of broke that rule because I haven't had breakfast yet, but I still need to make those other videos. So I'm gonna do that. So I'll record myself making those videos, do another time-lapse thing, and then when I'm done, I'll record my reaction to see how the first video is doing, because again, I do not know as of this point. Alright, so I just edited a new batch of Harley Quinn clips. The first one that I posted this morning was about 4 hours ago, so I'm just going to go in and post a new one. While I'm doing that, I just wanted to see and record my reaction to see how this one is doing. To see. Basically, I just want to see if like this account starts out shadow banned or not, because it's probably not, but I'm paranoid. I've been hurt, and so it's hard for me to trust again. So we have 1 new follower and no views. That's weird. I don't know what the deal with that is. Huh. I'm going to get back to you on this. Okay, well, I'm not sure what the deal is necessarily, but I'm not too concerned as of right now because this is a new account I just made like yesterday, so maybe it just needs a bit of time for the algorithm to figure out that it's not a bot account or something. So I'm not going to get too upset about this. I'm just going to keep making the videos and I'm just going to keep posting them. I'll give it until our next week's check-in before I start to get a bit concerned. In the meantime, I'm just going to post the videos and just not worry about it too much, because otherwise I'm just going to like freak myself out about it. So yeah, here's hoping that nothing else is going wrong. After that, I continued uploading on the 3 times a day schedule I'd created. I started to get anxious about the lack of views, and so I tried to find out as much as I could about this problem, including one particularly infuriating discussion with a stranger who I asked for advice. So this new TikTok account I just made has like a couple of videos up already that are all like loaded with hashtags and stuff, but they're not getting any views. I just was wondering, is this a common thing with new accounts? Oh, the TikTok algorithm is mysterious and random. Some videos get pushed to 10 people, and some get pushed to 10,000. Well, yeah, I know, but that's not my problem. Have you possibly considered basic TikTok etiquette, like using hashtags? That can help sometimes. Well, yes, obviously, Then you perhaps should give up. The TikTok algorithm is a crapshoot. You may simply be doomed to never reach any. Oh, hey, I actually did get some likes. It reached someone. So, you know, thanks for not answering my question at all. Doom, Scrooge! You're doomed for all time! Yeah, okay, bye. So that guy wasn't particularly helpful, but most other sources I found did say that the lack of views was normal for a brand new account. And by the end of that 12th day, I was starting to gain some attention on the new account, so some of my worries were over. As I pressed forward, however, I started to notice a rather odd sensation. I had quit using TikTok before all this because I didn't like what it did to me. I didn't like the sensation of being caught in the short-hit dopamine loop, whether it was from consuming the content, posting new videos, or constantly refreshing the notifications to see if that idiot I replied to had replied replied back to me so that I could continue having an argument that I hated. While making these videos, I found myself occupying my thoughts with that same cycle of obsession about the notifications from the account, compounded by my fear of the account bombing again. It was almost like TikTok was trying to lure me back in. Oh, Tom. Come back. Watch my videos. You know you want to.
No, you can't make me. I won't.
You will. It is your destiny.
No.
Yes. Come back to me.
No.
So that may be an issue I need to work out. But outside of all of that, there is still the issue of waiting for this account to come about. And as promised, I decided to continue until the weekly check-in to see where it headed. All I could do at this point was wait. Again.
It is now day 15 of the experiment, and we are at the end of week 2. As for our week 2 check-in, we had the problem of having to switch over to a completely new account, but you know, it's a road bump in our long road to inevitable internet fame. You may remember when I first created the account and posted the videos, I was a little bit concerned because they weren't getting many views to begin with, but as it turns out, I was right in that a brand new account takes a little while for it to actually get going, and get going it did. On that same first day, I got 2 videos that got over 700 views, and we got our first comment that just said first, which, you know, I guess is the internet tradition, so. And we've continued growing over the last 3 days to get a consistent amount of views, with one video actually getting almost 2,000 views, though it did include this clip.
Name someone funnier than me, Stan. Harley? What? No! Women aren't funny.
And had these comments on it, so that's a little concerning. But overall, we've come to a pretty good number of about 20 followers and 646 likes in the last 3 days, so that's pretty good. There has been ups and downs, with some videos getting like maybe 30 views while others get 1,000. Recently, I'm in a little bit of a dry spell, with the 2 videos that I posted today having a total of 4 views. I'm trying not to let my like shadow ban instincts go off right away, because I don't think that's necessarily what happens yet. I'm just trying to stay hopeful on that point, because we've had a good run so far. And I'm cautiously optimistic that this tiny little road bump will go away and we'll be back in business for the next couple of weeks. We're already halfway through the experiment, and through the total of the 2 accounts I've made, we have about 80 followers, which is a little bit less than 10,000, but I do know that once we get going, it'll start to become more exponential, so I'm hoping that that's something that happens. But yeah, in general, week 2 went a lot better than week 1 did. Here's hoping that that good streak keeps going into week 3. Guess what? It happened again. Okay, so yeah, that little blip yesterday of no content, that's continued. Looks like I've been shadow banned again, which is super great. It happened so soon again, you know? I think it was the same amount of time as before. It was like 3 days. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what to do at this point, so I think I'm just gonna end this recording here, and I'll just try to figure out what to do later. Fun times! I was crushed. Just as my hopes started rising, they were dashed upon the rocks once again. How could I possibly continue at this point? It seemed that TikTok had it out for me in my quest. What more could I do at this point? I could continue making new TikTok accounts, but then I would still be at the mercy of the TikTok algorithm's whims. I was defeated and ready to pull the plug on the project. TikTok had won. Unless TikTok had suppressed me, it was true. But I couldn't just give up. I couldn't surrender. I had made a promise at the beginning of this whole thing that I would stick it out the entire month. I may not have had a chance of achieving my goal, but at least I could still go down swinging. I would continue posting on the account at the exact same rate. I might not succeed, but I would take comfort in knowing I had not surrendered. Besides, I had my own plan of sabotage.
I'm not the only one waging war on this app. In its like 3 or 4 years of dominance, it's made a lot of enemies. Teachers, creators, even government officials. But most importantly, they've made a whole bunch of enemies who seek to beat them at their own game. And one in particular is eating away at its dominance. I am, of course, talking about YouTube Shorts. You may laugh, but there are some creators who have gained some incredible dominance on this site, solely through YouTube Shorts, and I can definitely tap into that. After all, my stated goals were 10k followers and 100k views, not 10k TikTok followers and 100k TikTok views. I still have a chance. So on that same day, I began posting shorts on a YouTube account with the same email address that I had made for the Harley Quinn TikTok. I even decided to throw in an Instagram Reels account, just for the hell of it. Why not? Even Zuckerberg could help join the fight. My rebelling spirit was at its peak. A new era had begun. An era during which I battled TikTok at its own game. All that week, I posted videos to the 3 accounts, all at the same time. All with hashtags, keeping it consistent. I was so focused, in fact, that I forgot to actually get footage of me doing it. I hope that whatever stock footage or movie clips I'm using are able to help the experience. I was so focused that I didn't even notice the time passing. And before I knew it, it was time for the week 3 check-in. So I may have been a tad overconfident. This is the week 3 check-in, and not a lot has changed actually. But let's actually go through these points and let me just kind of show it. So starting off first with the Harley Quinn account, not a whole lot has changed there. Views are still pretty bad. Looking at the actual analytics for the last couple of days, there have been about 2,000 views or so. We got 3 comments, a couple of shares, at 3 new followers, really. Like, stuff is happening. Like, it's not like I'm completely dead in the water on TikTok, but like, it's not happening at a very fast pace, at least not faster than it would be if I just ran an account normally. Moving on to the YouTube Shorts of it all, I've actually had some really interesting findings on there. Because if we go to my very first short that I posted, it got like 2,000 views, so I was like very excited about that. But then the second one I posted had 56 views, which was a noticeable downturn, and then the third one had 2 views. And overall, like, there hasn't really been a whole lot of variety outside of the 1 to 10 view range, and with occasionally you get something that gets like 60 views. And then yesterday I got another banger one that got almost 2,000 views. It just seems like it's a random lightning strike almost. Most of the time you get nothing pretty much, but then every once in a while it'll just like now that one gets way more views than normal. Maybe you'll keep posting, it'll happen again. But I gained total of like 8 subscribers, even though I had like 4,000 views, so I don't know, man. Like, I'm pretty good on watch time, even considering the very low lows normally, but it's not translating to followers or subscribers, I should say. And that's especially true for the Instagram Reels account, which has 0 followers, even though it started on the same day as the YouTube Shorts one. To be fair to the Reels account, this one has gotten way better consistent views than the other 2. Starting out, I got a pretty good range from like 100 views to like 1,000 views. And then there was a little bit of a dry spell where I got no views on like these 5 for some reason. But then today I've been getting views again, so I don't know. So the chances of getting that first goal where I just get 10,000 followers is not looking great, but it's possible that I could get that 100k views mark. I guess we'll see if I get 1 out of 2 goals. And we'll find out pretty quickly if I do, because we're going into the final week. Probably not a lot is going to change, to be honest, but you know, who knows? Catch up with you later. Honestly, considering how the last 3 weeks have gone, week 4 went pretty well. Though there was an interesting incident that took place just a day into week 4 that was a bit head-scratching, to say the least. Alright, so it's day 24 of the experiment, and this isn't like a huge update or anything, but it's just kind of a funny occurrence that I thought was interesting. Last night, I posted one of the videos at the normal time, and almost immediately on TikTok, it got removed for community guidelines violation. Looking at the violation issues, it says that like it was violated because of illegal activities and regulated goods. So like they thought that I was, I don't know, selling like cocaine or something. At first I thought it was cause like it's a show about criminals, but like right here it says that we allow exceptions for content provides value to the public, such as educational, scientific, artistic, and newsworthy content. And as you know, the content I'm making here is extremely artistic, so I feel like that qualifies. And so I appealed it, because you know, obviously. And then like 30 minutes later it was just restored, no problem. So, I don't know what was going on there, but one thing I do have to say is, foiled again, Kim Kardashian. Your attempts to end my experiment are futile. Moving on, I did slightly change my tactics a bit. After noticing that well-viewed videos were not turning into lots of followers, I decided to add just a small follow for more message to try to encourage it. It seemed like a small thing, but I know how effective a simple call to action can be for people watching internet content. You know how like every YouTuber ever always reminds you to like, comment, and subscribe? It's cause it works. It works really well. On a completely unrelated note, liking this video and subscribing to the channel sounds really good right now, doesn't it? Yes, I record these lines under a blanket. It helps the sound. If you recorded audio, you'd do it too. As the week continued to go on, my initial prediction of not much changing seemed to be coming true. But then, I noticed that something interesting was happening. So it's towards the end of week 4, and for the most part, nothing has changed. The Harley Quinn account has not recouped its views, the YouTube Shorts account had a few more bangers, but has since subsided into pretty much nothing, and the Inside Job account is just dead in the water. The less said about that, the better. But there has been an interesting development with the Instagram Reels account. I still haven't gotten a lot of followers, but the views on the videos have been like really good. All this week, barring like 3 to 5 exceptions, all of the videos have broken the 1,000 view mark, with a lot of them breaking 3,000 or 4,000 or even like 7,000. So the Instagram Reels account has by far been the most consistently successful, which is not what I was expecting. Either way, tomorrow is the week 4 and final check-in, and thus the end of the experiment. So I will just check in there, and then we'll see the final results. Alright, we are finally at the end. This is it. This is March 1st. I'm cutting off the experiment here. This is the end of everything. That sounds a lot more dramatic than I meant, but this is the end of the data collection period. This is the end of the posting period. This is just the end of the experiment. It's over now. Normally when I do this data collection period, I would look through just everything that had happened in the last week and just give a general estimate. But now, what I'm going to be doing is collecting all of the data for everything and then putting it all together and just doing like a full-on analysis. So technically the week 4 section is over now. I just wanted to say that it's over, it's done, it's gone forever. And now, let's look at the data that we collected. Alright, so I've done some number crunching, and now I've got the full data set laid out. Allow me to explain in great detail the fruits of my month's worth of labor. So starting with the original Inside Job account, I posted a total of 34 videos on there. In return, I received 65 followers. Though technically that account already had 23 followers beforehand, so really I gained 42 followers over the course of the month. In total, all of the videos on this account received 24,481 views, averaging out at just about 720.03 views per video. So that is the full data set of the Inside Job TikTok account, the very first account we started this whole process with. Moving on, the Harley Quinn TikTok account was the one that I posted the most videos on, totaling out to about 47. Starting from 0 followers this time, I gained a total of 21 followers. A noticeable downturn from the first account's income, even when considering the 23 follower head start. It did not fare better on the views, receiving a total of 11,197 views, with an average of 283.23 views per video. There you have the data for the Harley Quinn TikTok account. The YouTube Shorts account fared even worse. While I posted 36 videos on there, I only received a total of 11 followers. And on top of that, only about 8,762 views, with an average of 243.9 views per video. So yeah, I was way overconfident on the YouTube Shorts agenda when I started posting on that account about a week and a half ago. There's all the data for the YouTube Shorts account. And now, of course, we have the Instagram Reels account. The findings for this account were interesting. First off, I posted 32 videos on this account, and in terms of gaining a following,
this account fared the worst. It does seem that the follow for more messages helped somewhat because I went from 0 to 5 followers when they were implemented. Now as for views, as a total I received 62,861 with an average of 1,964.41 views per video. Yeah, apparently Instagram Reels are a goldmine for getting views because I received more views on this account than I did on any of the other ones combined. This is like the tortoise winning in the tortoise and the hare, except in this scenario there were 3 hares that all had a running start and the tortoise wasn't even considered a viable candidate. What a goddamn plot twist, am I right? But do you know what the final salt in the wound is? The most viewed video out of all of these had just under 11,000 views. And you know what it was? It was the second video on the Inside Job account. Yeah, out of all of these videos that I posted, all 149 videos, it was the second one that I ever posted that got the most views. After all we went through, we could have gotten the same results on that far if we just posted 2 videos and just waited. That is not a pleasant feeling. So how did I fare in achieving my goals? Well, you remember that my first goal was to post at least 1 video a day throughout all of February. I achieved this, even if some days it was only just barely. But even considering those times, towards the end of the experiment, I was posting like 9 videos a day for a solid week and a half. So averaging it all out, I think I'd give myself an A++ for that goal. My second goal was to have, at bare minimum, weekly check-ins. You saw that, I did it. I honestly won't even consider this something that I could really fail at unless I really tried. So I'll give myself a P for pass. My third goal was to get 10K followers. I didn't get this goal, but I did get pretty close. As you can tell when you tally up my combined following to 102. 79 when you consider the 23 follower head start the first account had. So that was a very resounding F, of course. And last but not least, my final goal was to get 100,000 views. It was touch and go there for a little while, but in the end, and in no small part due to the Instagram Reels account, I ended up firmly across that threshold with a final tally of 107,301 views. So for that goal, I'll give myself a resounding A+. That is the worst looking plus ever. A resounding A+. So I guess that looking at all of these, it would average out to a solid like C+, maybe? C, I'll stick with C. I don't know, that seems a bit high to be honest. Considering that my follower goal was a huge part of my clout strategy and I just butchered that. Otherwise, I was pretty successful though, so... So now that we've come to the end of our journey, our long, adventurous quest finally at its close, what can we say we learned? Well, first and most obviously, the main conclusion that we should be coming to is
Discord user Apollo, you lied to me. You sully your namesake, for you forsake the gift of prophecy for this gift of deception. I jest, of course. Though I do think it's interesting how different these successes we experienced are. I kind of made the assumption that their initial video took off because of the nature of the content, but in all honesty, they were probably just lucky. Like, those videos did have engagement, and the ones that picked up steam were able to keep it, but it's not like these videos have a special factor that keep them above water over other videos. I've had videos on my main TikTok account and on my main YouTube page blow up way bigger than any of the videos on these accounts did. And I wasn't even going for algorithmic optimization with those. It also appears as though even when you do get a high number of views, that doesn't necessarily translate to a lot of followers when you're making content like this, especially for an environment like the For You page or equivalent on a bunch of these social media sites. There has to be an additional factor that keeps people coming back, and content like this just doesn't have that. It may be because it's stolen content, people can find it elsewhere, but it also is likely because there's no personal touch to it, no factor that keeps people coming back. It's content that people will watch, but not that they'll seek out. And honestly, that's pretty reassuring. I may have appeared pretty frustrated with my lack of success in this video, and in this case,
because that was real, because I was trying to achieve a specific goal. All in all, this is probably a good thing. While I was making this video, all I could think about was those influencer courses. You know, something that Jake Paul or Austin McBroom or someone else would shit out about how to be an influencer and would guarantee you massive success in its advertising. And then they would charge you your life savings in return for an embedded YouTube link about how to make hashtags or something. And they wouldn't work because there are no shortcuts to internet fame. It's all pretty much a crapshoot, and that doesn't matter if you're using Jake Paul's special techniques, if you're making content with AI, or if you're just doing what you're passionate about. We're all equally at the whim of the algorithm when we start out, and honestly, that's pretty nice to hear. But enough of that sentimental BS. Do I actually get anything out of this? Well, not really. Well, that's not true. I got a life lesson, 79 new followers, the sagging weight of stealing the works of Shion Taguchi and Justin Halpern and his associates. And, I'm surprised by how hard the game is. Like I just will die like 10 seconds, like literally 10 seconds after I start. But I've got a whole month to get better. This is just like day 1 or 2 of playing it. You know, by the end of the month, maybe I'll be a master. Oh yeah, I did get pretty good at playing Subway Surfers. Came up from the bottom of the leaderboard, and ever since then I've got a slightly higher score. Swipe left and right, you can call me ninja, how I play so nice. Stacking them coins I score tonight, grabbing jetpacks so I'm taking flight. And the best to ever do it, that's me. All those Harley Quinn clips, that's me. You will never see the fuzz catch me. Pull up my stats, G-O-A-T. I'm running from the east to the west side, in this mobile children's game of Rendition time. And it's only been a month, imagine if I had the game back in 21. Surely no one can defeat Temperate, run through, I'll conquer with ease. They sit and just marvel at me, thinking I work for Galactus the way I'm surfing. Go like a Saiyan entry. Who is the best? You should say TST, TST, TST. And I guess that's the end of today's video. This one was a pretty big project to begin with, but it got a lot bigger than I thought it ever would be. So I want to give a special thanks to everyone who helped me out with this video. First of all, I want to thank Danny Gonzalez and Ted Nivison. Their videos doing similar things to this were a huge inspiration for this video and how I went about doing it. Thank you to my friend Teddy for lending his voice to this video, no matter how small the cameo. The link to his stuff is in the description. Thank you to Athena P for allowing me to call you pretty much unprompted and interrogate you about TikTok views, and for helping me out with various other parts of the project as it went on afterwards. Her channel is also linked in the description. An extra special huge thank you to Kevin Douglas, who helped me make and write the ending song. It would not exist without him in any capacity, because I am so clueless about making music. Once again, his channel's linked in the description. Check it out. He makes his own music that is pretty cool, I would say. And of course, thank you for watching. It honestly means the world to me. Feel free to check out my socials, including my community Discord server and my Letterboxd, all of which are linked down below. If you like this video, feel free to like it, comment with any thoughts that you may or may not have had, share it with anyone who you think might enjoy it, or even just subscribe because I'm just so darn cute and you want to see more of me. It really seriously helps support the channel and allows me to continue doing what I do. We're so close to 3K and it would really mean so much to me if we could get there before the end of the month. I sincerely hope you're having an excellent day, and or that your day continues to get better. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye.